We are continuing our discussion about the Nashville Rescue Mission. We have with us Michael Couturier, right?
Very good.
Good. Program graduate, and Cliff Treadway, a name and face familiar to many, who is the communications director at the mission. Thank you also for being with us. All right, so Michael, I want to get a sense. We just talked to the new CEO. Just get a sense from you, how you came into the program and what it's meant for you. But let's start, how did you come first to the program?
Interesting story. I've been having addiction issues on and off throughout my life. Figured I could take care of things on my own. I figured wrong. When I first came to the Nashville Rescue Mission, my intention was just to stay there a couple weeks, maybe a month, get my feet back under me and get back on with life. Talking to the director of the Gateway program, which is the initial phase of the main program at the time, he convinced me that the program itself was probably something good for me. After going through it, I couldn't agree more. It's a 7-month program that teaches you how to live dependence-free, based upon the Bible and the love of Jesus. And I've been a Christian all my life. I grew up knowing Jesus, knowing God. But it was just something that through the course of time, paying bills, being caught up with everything else that you have to do in the world, that you lose sight of. It was a godsend, I can honestly say, to be able to take time out of my life and for the mission to be able to, take me, set me down, and give me the room, the ability to learn and to grow was something that I knew inherently, but I just forgotten over time. And
so it was a situation where you became addicted to something. Did you wind up, I guess, on the streets?
Close.
Okay.
Close. My addiction itself was alcohol, and it had gotten to the point where my family and friends had just had enough. There was nowhere else I could turn to. It was, get myself back together, or else, out on the street.
And did you think you were going there just for like a night or a short time, and then it turned into this long thing? Oh, exactly.
It was. I planned on being there just a couple weeks, long enough to start working again, save up some money, go get an apartment, do what you're supposed to do. Then I realized that things were never going to get better in my life if I didn't make a fundamental change in the way I was thinking. And that's where the program came in.
And that's really the issue. I mean, there's so many people who are addicted who have problems like that, and it's, I guess what we were talking about before, it's good that it's not just kind of a patch-up thing. I mean, there's a real solution here.
Exactly. Because prior to coming to the mission, I'd actually been to an AA program out in Burns, Tennessee. Wonderful program, nothing against AA. It just wasn't enough. A 30-day treatment program just wasn't enough for me. I needed that immersion, that getting away from everything, that focusing on, the important parts of life, relearning what it means to be a man, what it means to be a Christian man, what it means to try to be a father, to try to be a son, to try to be a brother. That's the things that you kind of lose sight of when you're focused on everything else of the world, paying your car, insurance, cable bill, whatnot.
And 7 months, are you there living at the mission, or is this at another location, or where do you go for this 7-month program?
You are at the mission. Basically, when you first come into the program, you're in what they call the gateway phase. It's like the introduction to the program. You are there 24/7. You work at the mission, doing the basic chores that you need to, keep the place running. You get class instruction. After you get it through the gateway program, then you move upstairs to what they call the program proper. And that's where, you're doing classwork every day. You're going to devotion and to chapel every day. You have, courses that cover different aspects of Christian life, from boundaries to sexual idolatry to just dealing with addiction to just, the Bible basics. It covers a wide range of just topics that are important to know. And you're there at the mission 24/7. As you move along in the program, you do get certain liberties. You'll get passes to go see your family. You have people visit you on the weekends. They vary in length of time depending upon how long you've been in the program. We also do all kinds of fun things. People donate, hockey tickets. We'll go to a hockey game. Go Preds. We gotta love them. But yeah, there's all kinds of great things that happen there at the mission.
That's great. And where are you now?
I have graduated in January. I am currently still at the mission in what they call the job search phase. Just going out, hitting the pavement, going online, trying to find employers that are, willing to take a chance on me.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you shared your story, and we'll talk some more. And Cliff, I want to bring you in. Just Well, number one, I mean, you're an amazing story, and I think we've heard it before, that you also came through the program and now have this very important job there with the mission. But how many people go through this program? How many people are in Michael's shoes and have been in Michael's shoes?
The Bible talks about the poor will always be with us. However, it didn't tell us how many people that was going to be. And those numbers keep growing. I mean, they just, at any given time, we could have, 125 men, in our active current side of the program. And then in our transitional, that'll be his next phase is going into our transitional housing. We could have upwards of 150, 175 men in that area. And by the way, we're talking men right now, but everything is replicated at our women and children's facility too. The numbers are a little bit lower, but nonetheless, they're growing also.
And I mean, so many people think, I think that what you're talking about with the mission is a place where a homeless person will go for one night. They'll go and get in out of the cold, and they'll go and get a hot meal. I mean, this is an indication that it's more than that.
Well, I tell you, for over 50 years, that hot meal and that safe, warm place to lay your head at night is a goodwill offering that we offer to be able to get a person to come into our facility so we can get to know them. I often say all we really do at the rescue mission is to remove the distractions of life and to provide a platform for the person needing help in God to get together and connect and fix things. It's our job to remove the distractions so that can take place. That extends itself to those who decide that they're going to be donors of the mission or volunteers. We provide that, or a conduit for serving and for fixing, to take place on a daily basis. That's what we do.
And what are the numbers now? I mean, this economy has not been good. Maybe, hopefully, it's turning around. What are the numbers you're seeing over the past couple of years?
They're growing. The numbers, 700,000 meals in the last 12 months we've provided. That's, up about 10% over what we did last year. But inside those numbers is where we're seeing changes. Often people will ask me, what's it like to be around homeless people? My standard answer is we're all homeless till we get to heaven. But outside of that, it's not that stereotypical person under the bridge. It's people that look like you and look like me, mothers with children. Nothing comfortable about homelessness, but in America, a mom and a child on the streets is not acceptable. And to see that, and to see how the faces of that the homeless community is changing, that saying we're a paycheck away for all, a paycheck away from being homeless has come true for a lot of people. So, but as they arrive at the rescue mission and they realize this is what their worst case scenario, we're all scared, especially as men, that we're going to lose our jobs and not be able to support our families and lose our house. And when you get to the rescue mission, realize this is what your worst case scenario looks like. It's not as bad as what you thought it was going to be. And when you realize that at no charge to you whatsoever, we're here to serve you, to provide a meal, to provide daycare for your child, to provide programs to help you with overcome addictions, to provide job training, to provide GED, all of the things that we do at no charge at all, for that person. Your worst case scenario turns out to be not so bad.
And where is the most help coming from? Is it coming from just individuals, or is it coming from churches? I mean, how important is the church component to what you do?
Well, some people are surprised when they hear this answer. They figure I'm going to say, we need those donations. The number one thing we need is prayer, and that is the Nashville. Wow, I mean, what a city! If you're going to be homeless, terrible place to be. But if you're going to be homeless, Nashville is a great place to be, because you've got people. I've often talked about this, all the dynamic of this person who doesn't know this person, and through their prayers and their support, this person's life is changed from the support of somebody they don't even know and never will know. That dynamic just blows me away, and in Nashville it just repeats itself over and over and over again.
And what if there were somebody who didn't know much about the mission? They just hear, okay, it's there's the Nashville Rescue Mission, maybe they drive by it. What would you want that person to know about what's going on there? Well,
it's that what you hear about, and when you have 30 seconds on a TV commercial or PSA, is you talk about those meals. For $2.26, you can provide a meal for a man, woman, or child. But that $2.26 is probably the best investment this side of heaven, because for that $2.26, you know, take care of a tummy, but you save a soul, you know, and for that there is a celebration going on in heaven, you know, as that person, you know, it might not change direction right away. They might have some stumbles and some problems along the way. They might not get it the first time. Maybe they have to come through our program the second time. But the one thing for sure is that they know who Jesus Christ is, and they are in a relationship with Jesus Christ. And at the end of the day, the food, the clothing, the shelter, that's all great. But what we're here for is to introduce people into that relationship with Jesus.
We only have about 20 seconds left, believe it or not. But the Easter program, this is a major initiative that you're doing that's coming up. What do you want people to know? It's
just a reminder of we're here to help you fulfill, as a Christ follower, you know, your duty, you know, of an obligation, you know, from what the Bible says, of taking care of the poor and the hurting. You know, we're here to be a conduit to help you fulfill your obligations to God in that area, and we're here to serve you as you serve others.
Well, I want to thank both of you for being with us. Michael, thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cliff, as always, thank you very much. And also Glenn Cranfield, the new CEO, he was here. Thank you. And thank all of you for watching Issues of Faith. Have a great day, everybody.